All right, well, welcome back to Wake Up Northwest. In depth this morning, it's graduation season, so we're spotlighting the story of a local graduating senior. A student at Central Washington University has overcome so much adversity.
Yeah, Sophia Lesseos spoke to her about the struggles she went through and how she found the strength to graduate from college. Good morning, Sophia.
Good morning, Siggy and Sochi. Michelle Reyes told me that the many things that she went through in her life, the one thing that really kept her going was the support of her family.
Michelle! Michelle! Ra, ra, ra!
Michelle Reyes isn't your typical college student. Education and her didn't always see eye to eye.
You start growing into a mentality of like, I'm not really going to be here for that long. I just got to try my best.
Michelle, her younger brother and older sister, was raised by a single mother who worked 3 jobs trying to make ends meet after her father died. Growing up, she moved around a lot, causing her to go to 7 different elementary schools, 3 different middle schools, and 3 different high schools.
When my father passed away, she always told my sister, my brother, and I that just because we have a hardship or just because we don't have a father, that isn't our excuse to use in our lifetime.
According to an Urban Institute study, children who move 3 or more times for negative reasons before they turn 18 are 36% less likely to enroll in college and 68% less likely to complete a 4-year college degree if they do go. But Michelle still faced the odds.
Education is probably taken lightly by a lot of people, but when you come from such a hard and strict background and low-income home, education and having your name on a paper printed that says you're educated, you're an educated woman, especially Latina, that goes a long way.
In 2020, Michelle's mother and aunt were driving back from church when they got hit by a drunk driver driving on the other side of the road.
It was like the most traumatizing thing that I've ever seen.
Her mother went from being the sole provider of the household to being completely disabled.
I didn't want to go back to school when her accident happened.
But that's not the only thing.
There was a point where a doctor came in and said, hey, can I tell you something and can you translate it to her? And I was like, yeah. And so he was like, we just ran a CAT scan on her and, we found a tumor in her.
Michelle's family, being religious, looked at the car crash as a sign from God.
We're glad that it happened in a certain way because we were able to treat her cancer fast enough. Mami, Dani y Fer por ser el viento bajo mis alas que me permite volar.
Now, 2 years later, Michelle is graduating with her bachelor's in broadcast journalism.
I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for the emotional support that I get from back home. And it's starting to set into me looking back at I'm really here, I made it and I'm here and there's so much more that's coming for me and for my family.
One thing Michelle told me that she values most now is time, telling me that she's taking all the risks and making tough decisions in her life because you never know how much time you have left.
Wow, that is such an inspiring and a really incredible story, Sophia. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and Sophia, since she values time and hearing that about her mom, how is her mom doing?
Yeah, that's a great question, Siggy and Sochi. Well, her mom actually beat cancer, which is really awesome, and she is getting ready to go back to work. She's not 100% yet, but she did complete her physical therapy, and she is walking now. So to read more about the full story and what Michelle plans on doing with her bachelor's degree, you can head on over to our website, NBCRightNow.com.
It's really an incredible story. It's just really almost choked up watching it. All right, well, it's 5:19. You're watching Wake Up Northwest.
Yeah.